One of my very top requests from buyers is walkability. So I thought I would take some time today to show you what I feel is one of the most walkable neighborhoods in all of San Francisco. I'm so excited to show you around the Castro. We're gonna take a look at the shopping, the bars, the restaurants. I'll also show you around some of the housing stock. We'll go and check out some parks close by. So let's go take a look around. I'm walking across this rainbow crosswalk, which is a very iconic part of the neighborhood. You can see there's flags flying high everywhere in the neighborhood. So this is San Francisco's most historic LGBTQ neighborhood, and I think one of the first gay neighborhoods in all of the United States. And it's a neighborhood that really embraces everybody. So you do not need to live in one box to live in this neighborhood. One of the things I love about San Francisco is that it's a very, very inclusive city, and every walk of life is welcome here. Okay, so we're gonna pop into this cool hardware store, but before we do, I'm Ruth Krishnan, and I'm founder of the Krishnan team. My team and I have sold more homes than any other agent in San Francisco in 2025, and we're back here every Monday at 5 p.m. Now, before we go in there, let me just tell you a little bit about this place. It has been around since the 30s, so it's an institution in the neighborhood, and they've got all kinds of fun stuff. I mean, it's a hardware store. Who doesn't need a hardware store? So you've got all of the basic hardware stuff, but then you can also get some costumes and some other fun things when you're inside. So let's go in and take a look. Hi. So let's take a look around. We've got cars, we've got stationery, wigs. One of the things that I love about living in San Francisco is that San Franciscans love to get dressed up. So here you can stop by and you can make your own costumes. You can find all kinds of things. You've got boas. Let's see what else. Oh my gosh, look at this, all this fabric. Okay, I am not making a costume, but this is amazing. Feathers. And then you have housewares. There's actually next door, there's more of the hardware side of things. This is kind of a lot of fun stuff mixed in, but it's two stores. All right, we've got some games, which I love. Baby toys. Oh my goodness, you have the medallions, which go in the old Victorian. I'm gonna have to remember that for our listings. A lot of times they get broken, or, you know, as you're changing out light fixtures and stuff like that. That's really cool. Stationery, houseware. So apparently, the guy outside was telling me that this actually used to be the Castro Theater, which I'll show you in a second where it now has moved to. But you can see in the back that it has a similar shape. So this was the original location. Okay, so it's like a really fun hardware store. I love it. And you can get costumes next door, which is really cool. These lights are cool. And all of the flags. Okay, how long have you lived here?
I have lived in the Castro. I just moved back just right after shelter in place, but I've been in San Francisco for 20 years.
Amazing. What's the best part about living in the Castro?
Well, I work and live in the Castro, so I walk everywhere.
Yeah. What's your favorite restaurant?
I love Tanglad next door. It's inexpensive, but I also across the street is Misty Cafe. So yeah, there's a lot of fun.
Amazing. Favorite bar?
I don't drink, so.
Okay.
No, but
that's good. Better for your health. You're gonna live longer.
But there's a nice variety of it.
Yeah.
So it's like, come on, you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like the Castro has more just like bars, restaurants, like also shops, like for daily living than.
And do you know what's really cool about it? It's like it's finding its voice again, and so there are a lot of new places moving in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I've seen there's been like some older stuff that's turned over, but then it gives, you know, it gives fresh.
It's necessary.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for your time. Take care.
Bye.
Okay, so we got to see that fun store, and isn't it important to have a hardware store close by? I love that. And that's one of the things I love about this walkable section is it's not just about nightlife or restaurants or cafes. You've got shopping, right? Check out this. Oh my gosh, wow. You get these beautiful suits. There's several boutique shops around. We'll walk by a couple of them. And so just being able to actually take care of all of your daily and nightly needs in one location is amazing. And a lot of walkable streets are just one section. The Castro actually has, we're gonna loop around and walk on Market Street, but it loops around and walks on Market Street. And then also you've got 18th Street, which we walked across, and there's a bunch of shops and cafes on 18th as well. Now, we're coming up here on Castro Street Theater, which is a very historic theater. They've had it closed for 2 years. It's gonna open next month. This is a huge, huge staple of the neighborhood. They do concerts, they do movies, they do shows. Really fun stuff. I've seen the Rocky Horror Picture Show there, where you can get up and dance. I saw Frozen there with my kids, like super, super fun sing-along type stuff. So I think everybody's excited to see that come back. You've got a pizza shop here. There's tons, I think there's 3 different pizza shops on this stretch. And then you have Hot Cookie, which is also a really famous cookie shop right here. They have all kinds of fun designs in their cookies. I'll let you go in there sometime to see what those designs are. This bar has been around forever, and it was one of the first bars in the area, I think it's in the 20s, to really put like queer on display. And so that's something that you will see here. Everybody is flying their flags high and just, we are who we are, and we love that. And so just like having all full windows, there's nothing to hide here. So that's really awesome. Across the street there, that's Soul Cycle. And then you've got the huge iconic flag flying high for the neighborhood. Soul Cycle, I'm sure you know, but it's a really fun place to get a hardcore, like loud, fast-paced cycle on. And we're gonna pass by quite a few gyms. I was actually wondering, as I was writing the script for this video, I was wondering, are there more gyms in the Castro per capita than any neighborhood in San Francisco? Because there are a lot of gyms. You have not only Soul Cycle back there, but there's a Pilates studio up here. I think there's like 4 gyms right on this street. So just a ton of places to get your workout on and stay fit. Across the street, there's a place called Catch French Bistro. It used to just be called Catch for a long time, and I think it was just recently, well, not that recently, it's been about 1.5 years that it closed and reopened with more of a seafood / French theme. And so it's a great place to go get different seasonal pasta and things like that. Absolutely delicious. They also have a back patio out there. I love a good back patio where you can just, there's great sun in the neighborhood. So ordering some nice like lobster pasta and sitting around and soaking up the sun is just amazing. I mentioned to you about shopping, right? So this is a great men's clothing store called Rolo. It's nice to be able to get some nicer menswear. And then also across the street is Beau, which is a really popular bar in the neighborhood. I believe on weekends they have drag shows, like a drag show with like bottomless mimosas, which is super fun. So if you're looking for a little entertainment on the weekend, that can be amazing. So Wella is an amazing place to get a Thai massage. For 125 bucks, you can get an hour long. They're gonna stretch you like crazy in every direction. You'll feel like you got a workout in addition to a massage. It's absolutely phenomenal. So definitely check that out. Oh, the gym I was trying to think of, it's right around the corner up here. It's Barry's, and there's a few locations in San Francisco. That one is supposed to be one of the best ones. I have not been. My whole team goes all of the time. Here you have another bespoke men's fashion place. So I love that because a lot of the streets, like if you compare this to Noe, which we have a lot of buyers that are looking in both locations. This area just offers much more in the way of like daily living, in addition to some restaurants and stuff. So, you know, having more boutiques, a hardware store, there's tons of banks and like just different things for daily living that you don't get in Noe, for example. The other thing about this location is right over there, past the Lookout, which is also like a very, very popular bar. Fitness 24. That was the other one I was trying to remember. That's their fourth gym. So I knew there was four. Well, we passed a Pilates studio as well. But the Lookout has been around forever. You've got a bar up there. They also do drag shows there on the weekend. And you know, you can just sit out and people watch, and it's super, super fun. If we keep going down this direction, which we're not going to because I want to take you back around and show you a little bit more in that direction. But the cool thing about this neighborhood is you go down this way and you're going to hit Church Street, and then there's a whole nother section of restaurants and stuff on Church Street. If you go in this direction, you're in DuBose Triangle, which there's an awesome dog park over there. And then a little bit further in that direction, you have Hayes Valley. So you really have, like, you are so central here. You have the option to go in a lot of different directions to get a lot of different vibes, and just a great feel for being able to walk around. Also, you notice this here is all pretty flat. And so getting around is going to be very easy, which I like. But I love the ability to live in a neighborhood and also walk to other neighborhoods that have their own walkable street. So then it just opens up the door for all kinds of activity and all kinds of things. If we were to go further in that direction, I wouldn't call it exactly walkable, but because there's a big hill between us and there, but you've got Nopa just over the hill and down, and then you're right by the park. So super, super central. If I were to keep going this way, just a few blocks, I would get towards an on-ramp for the freeway. So being able to get from here down south, if you happen to work in tech or biotech and you need to be in the peninsula, very, very easy to do. You can see we have the F Market right here. Public transportation in the neighborhood is fantastic. You not only have the F that can take you straight downtown. I say that because it has a lot of stops, but you also have the Castro Muni Station is right there by that Soul Cycle. You just walk down and there's several lines in that Muni Station. And so that's gonna be your fastest way to get downtown versus taking the F. And then there's several buses too. I think the 22 runs through here, which will take you to the north side of town if you, for some reason, need to get up in that direction as well. So we're gonna head back over because I wanna show you a few of the parks. There's actually a lot of access to different parks and activities in the neighborhood. I'm not gonna show you all of them, but one of the things that's in the neighborhood is the Eureka Valley Rec Center. And that's a really cool place. My son spent a lot of time there in middle school. He had several friends that lived in the neighborhood and went to school in the Mission. And they would walk up there and play volleyball. They have pickleball courts. It's really for all ages. And then there's like a whole outdoor grassy area. I think they have a soccer area there, but it's indoor, outdoor. So, you know, it's great whether it's raining or not to have access, you know, for something like that for kids and adults to play. Okay, so we are headed back down 18th Street, and if you look in either direction, you can see there's a lot going on just on this street. We have a Molly Stone's right up there, which is a really nice high-end grocery store. You know, it's great to be in a neighborhood where you can get access to grocery stores as well. And then we just passed over a Walgreens, which we've lost a lot of Walgreens in San Francisco, unfortunately, but that one is still open, yay. They probably still lock up the toothbrushes, which is unfortunate, but it's there. And then, you know, we're passing like some more fun stores. This is an adult fun store. There's lots of those in the neighborhood. We have another adult fun store, so if you need anything for your weekend fun times, you can go to Rock Hard. There's a lot of fun plays on words for the stores. I think we are going to pass, or did pass, oh no, we're going to pass it, a nail shop called Hand Job, which, you know, if you want to stop there and get your nails done, I think that's a great thing to do. There's a Phil's Coffee across the street, which is fantastic. One of my favorite cups of coffee in the city. So as we head into this direction, we are headed towards Noe, and we're gonna start getting a little bit of a hill going. Okay, so coming up here, we have Fable, which is a great restaurant. Shout out to Ramsey, the owner. He's got a great outdoor patio back there, which you guys know by now, I love an outdoor patio. So if you're looking for a place to have brunch or dinner and an outdoor patio, that's a great one. So coming up here, we have a little corner store, which I feel like every neighborhood needs a corner store. This neighborhood is feeling and is like, it's very lively. Like you can hear the noise around. I'm trying to stop occasionally when there's the garbage truck or the bus that stops by, but it's definitely more of an urban feel of an experience. One of the things that I wanted to share is that the neighborhood, if you're looking for Castro on an MLS map, you won't actually find it, which is, I don't know, it's what all of everyone who lives in San Francisco would call this area, but on the MLS map, it's actually called Eureka Valley. So probably when you think of the Castro, you just think of the streets that are very close to this, whereas Eureka Valley goes all the way up the hill. And up there you have Kite Hill, which Landry and I have gotten lost on before. Well, at least I got lost. I think Landry knew where he was going. But, and then there's a whole community that surrounds up there. And of course, as you start to go up these hills, you're gonna pick up the views, right? We don't have the views in the flats, but then you have the hill to contend with when it comes to walking. So up in the hills up there, well, hill, it's not really hills, but there are amazing views, like some of the best views that you'll see in the city. We recently sold a house on Eagle Street. I would show you pictures, but the buyers asked for them not to be shown, but it was very contemporary, massive, massive views. Maybe I can drop some photos of a house that we sold up on 19th a while back, so you can get an idea of what the views are up there, because it's just absolutely stunning city views, and there's some really, really pretty architecture up there as well. So Eureka Valley will stretch all the way up to Market Street. And then the other thing that is in Eureka Valley is an area called Liberty Hill. And we're gonna walk through that right now so you can get a sense. And I wanted you to get a sense of the architecture now that we're off of the main stretch. So not surprisingly, you have, you know, early 1900s homes, beautiful architecture, lots of Victorians, Edwardians, all the colors, everything that you think of when you think of San Francisco. And they're kind of scattered throughout. So to talk a little bit about pricing, there was 55 single family homes sold last year in Eureka Valley. And of those, the median price was $3.1 million for about $13.50 a square foot. Now we see those prices closely mirroring Noe Valley, which I mentioned. Most buyers are looking in both neighborhoods, but Noe Valley has a little bit more hot spots where those spike significantly depending on the street and the block. We can get into that more if you want. If 3.1 million is a little rich for you, there's actually 77 condos sold in the neighborhood last year, and the average 3-bedroom, 1-bath condo was $1.6 million. So definitely drops it down about in half if you're willing to live in a condo. There's a lot of housing stock. I mean, look how beautiful these homes are over here. Just with all of those period details, like such cool paint colors and just like so historic, just absolutely gorgeous. It's one of the things I love about walking around San Francisco is just looking at all of the architecture. So we just passed 20th, and then coming up here on the left is Liberty Street. And so Liberty Street, as you go over, you get up on Liberty Hill. So this is all still part of Eureka Valley, but you notice it feels pretty different up here. The difference that a hill will make, it's a lot quieter up here. And yet it's relatively easy to get right down to the Strip. Easy to get down, a little less easy to get back up, but it's pretty walkable. I mean, this is a good size hill. It's definitely not the worst hill. I'll take you down a steeper one. But just very, very pretty homes. Now, Liberty Hill, as we head over there, since we're going up a hill, you can guess what happens over there, right? You're gonna start to get views. And those views are definitely, even though they're considered in the average, they're gonna push up that average price point pretty significantly. I'll walk you past a home that sold last week that is rumored to be in contract. I'm not exactly sure where it is, but somewhere probably in the mid-4s, which is going to put it at a very, very high price per square foot for the size of the home. So we'll check out that one. Okay, so we're gonna cross over on 21st Street. 21st Street is one of my favorite streets in San Francisco because I think possibly I've sold more homes on this street than any other street. So love you, 21st Street. So as we're crossing over here, we're gonna get up onto Liberty Hill. Now, what makes Liberty Hill special? I think partially it's the views. I think that's a very, very big draw. And as we get over this, that's where they kind of really start. Also, it's the proximity to other things. So it's very private up here, especially on some of these streets that don't have like easy throughway access. Like 21st runs like straight through, so it's actually not that private. But some of these streets like Liberty and Sanchez, they twist around, and kind of unless you live on them, you're not really driving them to get to somewhere else. I sold that house. Really, really nice home. Hello. And so you can easily be in the Castro, you can also be in Noe Valley, and you can also be in the Mission. And then you can obviously be at the park, which is where we're headed, because I think Dolores Park is one of the best. It's actually not in Eureka Valley, it's right on the edge of Eureka Valley, but it's definitely a destination spot for people who live in the neighborhood. So interestingly, this section has, I think, more C-suite, or it has a lot of money in this section of San Francisco. I think probably, you know, when you, like the fanciest parts of San Francisco are obviously Pacific Heights, you have Billionaires Row over there, that sort of thing. But there's like this other section of tech that has chosen to be in this area, probably for reasons of being like closer to the peninsula. And then for some reason, a lot of them have chosen to be right on this stretch and like kind of in the surrounding areas. I'm gonna resist the urge, because I really do believe in privacy, to point out to you who lives where. But as I walk, you can see if you can guess some of the homes or not. So anyway, I often joke about whether or not C-suite people want to like throw rocks out of the window and hit each other's windows or something like that. But so obviously your best views are going to be on this side of the street, which is the north side, because the city is that direction. This street here is going to loop right around and go down into Liberty Street, so probably not a street that people would use often unless they live in that direction. So if you like to learn about different neighborhoods, we actually developed something just for you. So we developed a website just for our YouTube viewers. And that website, there's nothing like it in San Francisco. And a lot of you have told me that you love it. So what we did is we broke down the city by a map. And then we have each neighborhood organized into videos. So if you're interested in learning more and like these kinds of neighborhood tours, definitely check out that website, and you can find the link in the description down below. We were just in Japan, but the cherry blossoms were not out yet, so it's kind of sad. We saw them last time we were there, and we tried to do this like duplicative photo of my kids from 14 years ago on the same street. AI hasn't quite gotten there yet, I have to say. I don't know if you all have played with photos like that, but okay, view. So you can imagine from these homes on this side, and even as you go further down onto Liberty Street, you just get massive city views. And it's really, really spectacular. So this is actually a big hill, and definitely easier to walk down, which we're doing now, so we do have to get back to our cars, than to walk up. You also have views in this direction, right? So depending on, you know, if you're on a hill and you have windows on the side, you're actually going to get kind of a 180 view, and then the bay is off in front of me. So it's pretty spectacular. I would say the only other location that rivals these views is Clarendon Heights. So if you're a sucker for views, this is going to be one of your top locations. Clarendon Heights is definitely a lot less walkable. I would say it's more of a car neighborhood. I love this house with the grass on top. It's very, very cool. And then the house right next to it, for those of you who have lived in San Francisco for a long time, they call that the Tom and Jerry house. The owners passed away a few years ago, I believe. It was on the market, I think 2 years ago, but this whole house used to just be like a Christmas tree, and they would dress up like Santa Claus and, you know, play Santa Claus for all of the kids in the neighborhood. It was very, very cool. I think they spent a lot of time decorating it. It was a whole crew. I sold the gray house across the street, so I got to meet them at Christmas parties back whenever my friends lived there, which was really fun. So the house that I was mentioning that just sold is actually right down here, and it sold for close to $2,500 a square foot. It's a very small house. And the thing about price per square foot to understand is that the smaller the house is, the more it can kind of bump up the price per square foot. So actually both this house and the house next to it were on the market at the exact same time. It just ratified this week. Very, very sweet house, very notable architect on that house, and very competitive. I think there was more than 20 offers on it, and it was kind of a one of a kind. I mean, that's the cool thing about San Francisco, is that we really have like different architecture, but sometimes there's some architecture that just steps right outside of that, and then everybody wants it. And so this was that house. We did a video on this house right here with the yellow door that you can check out on our channel sometime, where we went into that one, and it was a very, very cool house, one of our most popular videos actually. So you can see what a house, you know, in this location looks like. I think that one sold, I want to say for $6.3 million, if I'm remembering correctly, and that was maybe a year and a half ago. And this is this is the edge of Eureka Valley. So we are 1 block away from the park, which I wanted to take you to. There's a lot of green spaces. You know, you've got, there's a whole area on the other side near DuBose Triangle where you've got, I think it's called, like, there's Randall Museum over there, which is a cool place to go. And then You've got Twin Peaks close by where you can drive up and get really great views of the city. You have Kite Hill, and then there's some little tiny parks mixed in between, but Dolores Park is definitely our staple. And so if you want to have a real park experience, you can go there. And the thing I love about Dolores Park is that it can be a park experience for adults, it can be a park experience for kids, it can be a park experience for everybody in between. And I love that San Francisco can come together in that way, where it's like we can all just play together. And one of the best things about Dolores Park is that as you're there playing, you also have such iconic views of the city right in front of you. They have basketball courts, tennis courts. It's also very close to a lot of really great eateries. So, you can go to the park empty-handed, but you can walk over to Tartine and grab some pastries. You can go to Buy Right. You can get some drinks. You can get some sandwiches, some gourmet eats. You can go to Buy Right Creamery and get some of the most amazing ice cream. And then when you're done sunbathing at the park all day and, eating and drinking with your friends and kids, you can top off your night at Delfina with a really nice Italian dinner. I don't know if you all have been in there since they redid it a couple of years ago. I hadn't been inside to that location in a long time, and it is absolutely stunning. And I just love every single dish they make. It's surprising sometimes that things that are so simple can be so delicious. So let's check out the park. Obviously here we're at the highest point, so we get to kind of see the whole thing, but there's a playground down below. They spent a lot of money on this park a few years back, just redoing it and making it even better than it ever has been. And you can see even here on a Thursday afternoon, there's a lot of people just out enjoying the sun, hanging out with friends, playing with their dogs, just enjoying a fantastic day. So if you're looking for a walkable neighborhood, I don't think there's really any place better than the Castro, so I definitely would recommend adding this to your list. If you want to see another neighborhood that's really close by, we did a video on Hayes Valley right here, and we'll be back here every Monday at 5 p.m. And if you want to reach out and talk with us a little bit more about your real estate needs, please do so in any of the ways below.